Look and see the sun rising from the river, nature's miracle once more will light the world. But this light is not for those men still lost in...
So, it's been just over a year since the last 2K. I currently had a personal best of 6:25. This year we had done a little bit more training, and after Henley had wrapped up, I did want to end the season on a good, strong, positive note. So I was going for a PB. Bearing in mind the training we'd done, I'd also, after Henley had finished, I really went hard on the sort of short, high-intensity pieces, and things were starting to feel really good, and actually I was looking towards breaking the 620 barrier. Now, I knew this was going to be a really strong challenge, and there's some probably psychological issues with breaking barriers. They can seem pretty imposing, and whilst you're on the erg going for them, the fact that it's a milestone, it's a barrier, does make it that little harder to break. But that's what I wanted to do, and for this erg, for this 2K, that's why I wanted to set out and try and break. Normally for a 2K, I would negative split it, so I would go out pretty comfortably, and towards the end I would really start and try and reel it in. But for this one, bearing in mind I knew that I was going to be right on the precipice of what I was capable of doing, what my body was capable of doing, I think I was pretty sure that I was just going to have to keep it as a flat sort of split the whole way. So I was looking to hold 135 and under, with the possibility of a little sprint at the end, but I was probably aiming for around 135. So yeah, normally with negative splitting, I wanted to sort of steer clear of the, sometimes I will let it slip during 7:50 to go. As you're getting near to that last quarter of the erg, sometimes I can let it slip with the sort of, with it in the back of my mind that my wind is usually really strong and I can pull it back there. But I knew for this one I was really going to have to squeeze out everything I had. So it was all about just sticking with the split the whole way. And whilst this might not have been the most suitable plan for me, I thought it's something I would at least I would like to experiment with. I wouldn't have any regrets going out trying to achieve something like this. And if everything did fail, I wouldn't fall too far short anyway. For this erg, my split was very high. I think I was doing lots of high rate stuff, and that helped. I think I ended up averaging 35. A big thing for me is keeping composed during an erg. And whilst the pain was really starting to creep in, I stayed strong, which I was really happy with. I stayed composed, made sure I kept breathing properly. But I could tell this was going to be a hard erg. Going through the halfway, the 1K barrier, yeah, it wasn't that it was starting to hurt, it's that my legs start to get weaker and weaker, and it started to become much harder to maintain that 135 split. And I started to see 36s and 37s, and at that point, it's sort of a case of just reassessing, and I just really wanted to keep my composure, keep the rhythm, which I did do. So that meant just accepting that that's where my body was sort of at that point in the piece. So then I was just looking to gear up for a big finish. Again, I could tell I was right at the cusp of my output because the splits were just slowly creeping up. So yeah, I was just really looking towards that finish. So I think the predicted finish started creeping up to sort of 25s, 26s, 625, which, that's my PB, but I thought I could still have a big wind. When there's a PB in sight, you know that you have that momentum to really take it home to the line. So for me, the wind doesn't really start at 500 to go. I really wait it out for around about 300, last 250, and then really tried to go for it. And it was a good wind. I was really happy with it. But I've never done this before. I actually ended up blowing during the wind. I think lowest prediction I saw with about 100 to go, 150, was 621, and I ended up getting 623. So PB for me, I think 620s, breaking that 620 barrier will be in sight for next season. And with regards to the way I raced it, well, I think I'd have done better negative splitting. I can now assuringly say that that's how I should race a 2K. But I have no regrets in what I did. I'm glad I raced it the way I did. I was right on the cusp of what I could do, because I really pushed myself into a place that I guess I haven't been to in a while, mentally, on the erg. It was good to really push the comfort zone. If I was to have used the negative splits throughout the piece, maybe I could have done a little bit better, but I think I would have regretted not quite pushing myself to the max, which I think is what happened. So yeah, I came away with a bit of progress on the 2K erg score and a bit of progress up here, so that's good. On to the next one. Squirrels on the doors. One of the best people I've ever had.